welcome to another episode of the Gamers Assemble podcast. Yay, we're back on a Monday. Wow, that sounded like a really creepy space alien robot that was like creeping up behind me. It's another week, It's another episode, and I am joined by the one, the only, flouncy bouncy, fun, Tigger time!
It's me! I'm not wearing my tail today, though. I wish I was wearing my tail.
Oh, you're really echoey at the minute.
Am I? Hang on. Oh, it's because I put them around the wrong way.
That makes sense.
Dickhead.
Is that better?
That is much better.
Much better.
Right.
Much better.
Much better. Right, I'm really glad you picked up on that because I would have been like an idiot here.
I was like, why does it sound like he's biting a pillow?
And there we have my weekend.
She's muffled. Speaking of muff, it's Llama. Ooh.
The best muff diver in the whole of the UK.
I would say the whole of the world.
Well, I've traveled to many continents. That is true.
I'll bet.
I can't claim them all, I'm afraid. So I can't claim the world title as yet.
Been around the world and I go muff diving, baby. I don't know when, I don't know why.
I get my snorkel on, baby, and down I go, and down I go.
When I was younger, I had one of those stickers. I was younger and much wilder. I had one of those stickers on the back of my truck because I was a lesbian with a truck, obviously. And on one side of the window, I had the Ani DeFranco because I was that lesbian. Righteous Babe sticker where she's got the dress and she's flexing. And then on the other side, it had Olympic muff diving team, the little logo. So yeah, I'm on the Olympic muff diving team.
You only continue to go up in my estimations, Llama. Like honestly,
I've been married for a long time, so I don't know if I'm still on the Olympic muff diving team. I mean, I can't claim the world credit anymore. I don't reckon. Those youngsters on TikTok, they've been. We were talking about lesbian thirst traps earlier. I had to explain to the boys what a lesbian thirst trap was.
Because I just thought it was like a Black & Decker tool or something. Like
they were like, they've got power tools, and they're just like, ooh.
Like a selfie outside of B&Q. Like.
It was very lipsy. It was like, hang on.
Yeah, no, like you like smolder into the camera.
Is that toothpaste?
Bite your lip a little bit. Is that lube? What were you just doing? Yeah. And then you just stare into the camera for a little while.
Yeah.
No, I'm not sure if my milk's off or that just made me feel a bit sick.
Probably a bit sick. I mean, I'm not exactly like very sexy whenever I do that.
It's different from the hand cream. Sure,
I thought you just had toothpaste on the side. Like,
it's different from the boy thirst traps because those are generally, from what I can tell, underwear pictures. Where you're like, oh, I'm not posting about my underwear or the fact that I'm in my underwear. It's a picture of my controller and I'm a gamer and I just happen to be in my underwear with my butt in frame. But it's my controller.
Absolutely my favorite kind of gamer pic.
Yeah. I mean, look, whatever gets you going. If that's your gamer thing, that's your gamer thing. I am on lesbian TikTok, so...
Who wouldn't love that?
I mean, literally anything we can do to get down into our underwear and show off whatever kind of physique that we have with an aforementioned thing that could be relatable, like completely naked, like shot glass.
It'll be like hashtag shot glass.
Yeah.
Well, I can honestly say
confused.
I know nothing about thirst traps.
Oh my God, Tiggs, yours is the worst lately. So many thirst traps. Like people are going to be drowning lately. Nobody's thirsty. There's just so much liquid coming at them.
I'm very proud. I didn't think I'd be able to do exercise. It was all an experiment that ended up working.
You have done very well. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Yeah. We're thirst trap positive here, just the same way as we're sex positive.
All body types are hot. If you are I think you're hot.
I agree with that. It's not a six pack does not make a man. I'm attracted to people with all different
My
body
six
shapes.
pack is under quite a bit of other stuff, and I'm all right with that.
Somebody just
Makes me
pointed out in the
cuddly.
chat that we're all in the wrong boxes. That's my bad, but I fixed it now. Fixed
Have you?
Hey,
Oh,
Dango!
Jesus, that's terrible. Beardy, you had one job.
I
What
had
was
one
that?
job. I was too busy talking about lesbian thirst traps in the pre-show.
Tango's my friend, and it's his first Twitch, so we're popping his cherry.
Aw. Well, I'm glad he was here. Otherwise, we would have just been fucked going through this whole thing.
I'd have got into editing tomorrow and been like, what the fuck is wrong with this feed? Like, why is it all wrong? Well, speaking of a podcast and speaking
Oh, yeah,
about...
we're doing a podcast.
We've got a little topic, but before we get into that, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. So, as you know, we started a little D&D thing about 365 years ago. But unfortunately, we've had to put it on pause for a little while as we shift around some schedules and other bits and bobs. So fingers crossed, we should be getting that back to you sooner rather than later. So please keep your eyes peeled for that. We've also got another little... fucking genie's out the bottle, isn't it? I've done it
I'm
again.
a genie in a bottle.
Oh, put it away.
Every single
Look,
time.
he's leaving. He's leaving us.
I have a jacket
Abandoning
on,
us.
and then 2 seconds into the fucking podcast, I start getting too sweaty because this little tiny box room just absorbs all the heat from the equipment, and then I have to get naked a little bit.
Any excuse. We were saying any fucking excuse.
Any excuse.
Shot glass.
I'm just so thirsty.
Mouse.
It's a mouse. I'm a gamer.
The Bearded News Roundup is no longer on a Fridays, but it will be folded into our main podcast whenever we see a little bit of news that we fancy.
I have a bit of news.
Well, can you let me
go
get
on,
through
then. We're
housekeeping
folding
first?
it in. Fold it in.
Yeah, fold it in.
Fold it in.
Come on,
Fold
then.
it.
You
It's a shit-
hijacked the fucking show.
Shit's Creek. Fold it in.
I was just thinking about Mario Rose, and if you said that, I'm just going to be quiet.
No.
No, fold
I'm
it
not-
in now.
I'm not continuing until you've said whatever shit you need to say.
So I literally just saw on Twitter just before the podcast that apparently Discord is partnering with PlayStation.
I hope
To
so.
do what?
Well, you see, they've been going around the mill with this anyway, haven't they? Because it was supposed to be Xbox, and now it's PlayStation.
Oh, we're doing the do-si-do thing now.
I think the Discord should just come to everything because it makes life so much easier.
I agree.
And then finally,
Right.
on
Motion carried.
housekeeping, next week's episode is... We haven't got a title for it yet, but we're going to get a load of games and describe them badly and try and guess what the game is.
I think that should be our title.
Yeah.
Well, pretty much so every game I try and describe whenever we talk about anything on any of the podcasts.
Just describe
Maybe-
terribly.
Maybe we should call it like news
Tiggs
description
tries
who
to
dis.
describe a game.
New description who dis.
New description here is, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, we'll just badly like, you know, on the back of the games when you used to buy physical games and they'd like do the little blurb. Like, we'll just write the blurb terribly, and then we have to guess what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah. That's what we're
It'll
going to
be
do.
fun.
So, what I think will be quite fun is if you go over to your little Google account or your Hotmail or your cloud thing or whatever it is, you go onto your phone, there's like a little email app, or whatever you use, whatever your preference is, click on that, and in the to section, I want you to write gamersassemble@gmail.com, Gaymers Assemble, not correctly, and
ass.
send us a description of a game badly, and we'll try and guess what it is. And then next week, when we do the episode, we'll pull up all your little emails and we'll go through them and see if we can guess the games. Don't put them in there. Don't put the correct answer in the email. Just send us a bad description, and then make sure you're here next week to tell us what it is once we've read it out. Okay?
Oh,
that is
would
your
be
call
so
to arms.
awesome.
Oh
It's an
no!
audience participation episode. So come into the chat.
Yeah.
We'll try and guess it.
Slip into our
Don't
DMs.
worry, we're shit, so it'll be fun.
Yeah. So that is
Well,
your
yeah.
call to arms. But before we get to next week, we've got to get this one sorted. So this week's episode is It's Just a Little Thing. We're going to talk about our gaming crushes. Boys and girls that we get the hots for. We get all hot and sweaty
And days.
under the collar. playing these games. We're going to do it a little bit like Snog, Marry, Avoid. So all of us have picked 2 picks for ourselves and a 3rd pick for each of the other hosts this evening. So I'm picking for Llama, Llama's picking for Tiggs, and Tiggs is picking for me. And then we're going to, once we've gone through all of the picks, we'll put them in order of who we're going to snog, who we're going to marry, and who we're going to avoid. So, who wants to go first?
Go first.
Llama.
Because this one's not going to be a surprise. I'll go with my first pick because everybody fucking knows who I'm picking. Because
everyone get these shock faces ready.
Right? Everyone pretend. Ready? I'm picking Dr. Liara fucking Tassoni from Mass Effect.
Really? Oh.
Gasp.
Shock.
Because of reasons, basically. But, like, she's awesome. And Mass Effect is an awesome game. I mean, so it was, released in 2007. And when it was released, Liara was the only lesbian romance option in the game. So, like, if you wanted to do the dirty with a girl, you had to go with Liara in that game. And then, you know, I'm me. So I stayed true to my girl throughout the rest of the games, even though there were further options throughout the rest of the games.
Oh, yeah.
So if you haven't played the games, what the fuck's wrong with you? But also, it's fine. They're being remastered and they're coming out soon, the 14th of May, which I've pre-ordered because my wife is awesome. So Liara Tassoni is an Asari researcher. She's spent her life researching Prothean technology and culture. And she's like 150 years old, something like that, which is like basically a young adult, like early 20s-ish in the Asari world. So she's barely an adult. And she's a bit of a nerd, right? Because she spent all her life studying these Protheans. She's got like this awkward, geeky, nerdy thing going on, which is a vibe that I find fucking adorable. And she's constantly like getting all awkward and like, oh, I don't know what to say. I'm saying the wrong thing. Oh, I don't know. Like, I want to dissect you. No, not like that. Oh, no. Like, it's just adorable. I love it. And then, you know, and that's the first one. And then like she goes on and her character grows and I love it. And then you get like the mind meld sex, which is, you know, I guess that was all they could do. Fine, whatever. We keep our bra on.
I suppose though, at a certain age, like mind meld sex is probably all you're going to be up for anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you know, if we're
like
going to keep our bras
start
on,
going and you get arthritis in your fingers and like.
Yeah, I don't know how old Shep is.
Yeah.
How old is Shep?
Probably in, I'd say, late 20s, early 30s. Perhaps.
Yeah. I don't know.
You can't get, if I ever get that old.
He is 29 years old, or she is 29 years old.
Yeah.
He or she.
I mean, as I'm about to be replaying her, she's going to be 42 years old, so that's fine. We're going to get there. We're just going to be a little slower, like limbering up before the battles. Like, we don't want to put our back out as we go in. It's fine. It's fine. We'll be fine. Take our supplements before we go in.
Get that cod liver
oil. Get our 8
oil.
hours of sleep. Eat our porridge and our figs. It's fine. But yeah, no, Liara Tassoni is brilliant. I love her. And to be fair, I think this is one of the first games, probably maybe even the first, that I ever played where it had such a fully developed story with a lesbian love interest, a lesbian like RPG sort of story love interest, which is probably why it's been such a like every fucking game I pick or every episode I pick something from Mass Effect all the time. So yeah, Liara Tassoni has my heart and I pick her for everything and she is my number one and there I picked her.
Okay.
Moving on.
Who's your pick number 2?
Oh, we're gonna do pick number 2 straight away? Okay, fine. Pick number 2 then for me. It took me a long time to think about this, and by long time I mean like 15 minutes because as always I prepared like this afternoon. because I was like, shit, I haven't done anything. So I went with Cassandra Pentagast from Dragon Age, because what I struggled with was trying to find. See, I have a thing for the butch ladies, right? And you wouldn't know this from my first pick because Liara Tassoni is not a butch lady. But I didn't have a lot of fucking options back then because she was like the only one. And so I went with what I had. And she grew on me, right? It was fine. It was an arranged relationship. It worked. Fine.
Like a fungus?
It was sort of like a fungus.
Did you have to go to the alien STI clinic afterwards?
No, I learned to live with it. It was fine. It's a bit symbiotic. We got there. It was fine. But given the choice,
there's a cream for that.
I will go with the butch ladies, right? I like the broad shoulders. I like the muscly arms. I like feeling like they could maybe throw me around the room a little bit, but like they're not going to, but they might. You know, that little like, I like the butch ladies. So Cassandra Pentagast in Dragon Age Inquisition. Oh, fucking adorable. She has that scowl on her face all the time. She's stomping around in her armor. She's slashing the shit out of everybody. And yet somehow she's fucking straight, which I call bollocks on, right?
Bullshit.
That is bullshit. That is the queerest fucking character I have ever seen, ever. That would be like Jodie Foster all those years trying to convince us that she wasn't gay. Like we all knew. It's fine. We
What?
don't
She's
have to
gay?
talk about it. Like, you know, we don't have to talk about it, but we all know, right? Like we all know. Like Cassandra fits in that category for me. Like she's not ready to be out yet. Fine, whatever. But we all know. And the developers, there was a big hoo-ha when the game came out because everybody was like, Cassandra's totally gay though. Why can't we romance her? And they were like, no, Cassandra's not gay. That's homophobic to try and like force her into a gay narrative. And we're like, we know a gay chick when we see one. She's totally gay. So gay. Please can we romance Cassandra? And they're like, no, totally not how it works. My name's Chad. I know how it goes. I don't know why his name's Chad. She's gamer, bro. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, total travesty. Apparently she's not gay. I don't know. But she should be.
She looks it.
She's got the whole butch, just the attitude and she should be. Anyway, I'm in love with her. I think she's awesome. And so Cassandra Pentagast with her scowly eyes and her stomping around in her armor and her arms and oh yeah.
I think we need to leave Llama alone for a moment.
You might need to.
I might. Well, she hasn't had a third pick yet, and it might push her over the edge.
Oh God!
Have we got that Love Honey sponsorship yet?
I don't know, but something tells me after this episode you're gonna need it.
Right? Can we reach out to Love Honey again? Please sponsor.
We didn't even reach out to Love Honey.
Somebody just put our email address in the fucking newsletter.
I feel like they need to just watch our show and they'll find us adorable and be like, we need to sponsor these people. We can gamify this.
These people talk about sex a lot. We should definitely sponsor these people.
In a positive light. And also, you know, electronics, gaming, sex, fun.
Batteries.
There's a way we can tie all this together. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Could you imagine us doing an infomercial for one of those things in the middle of a podcast? It would be amazing.
Get your stats in real time. Share them with your friends. Would you share your stats with me? I don't know who I'd share them with.
They've got done.
We could use one of the things as like you know that we did a game and book club.
Do an episode where we just rank them.
Yeah. Review some products. Or we can
I watch lots of channels where they do that.
Yeah, review them in what game does this particular Love Honey item remind me of?
That'd be amazing. Yep.
It's a really good channel that
This
does safe
vibrator
strap
reminds me
etiquette.
of Mario because it makes me go, woohoo!
Do 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 boo do boop boop.
Speaking of, so my pick for you, Llama.
Ooh, the
I
wild card, yes.
Trawled the internet all through my little gaming libraries and stuff, looking for these characters that I thought, you know what? Llama got the opportunity. She'd go all NASA and finger blast it. Like, she'd take the rocket, she'd get there, she'd go. Yeah.
Right.
So my pick for you, I already kind of hinted at it in the pre-show, but it's female Eivor from Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Because she's Viking. She got that butch, like, energy. She's, like, top lady.
Yeah, she does.
Like, she's got the shaved head.
Top ready.
Yeah, she's ready. She's got the muscle. She's throwing her fucking Viking axes. Like, she's getting all bloody, beating people up and then just rolling around in the hay and fucking them. And I thought, that's going to be Llama's cup of tea.
I mean, I'm Googling her now.
Yep.
As we've said, I haven't managed to get a PlayStation yet, but yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'd let her throw me around the
and she probably would.
The fur rugs. Yeah.
She's a little bit taller as well, like than the other characters. She's probably about a bit of a 6-footer, built like a brick shit house.
I'm 5 foot tall on a lucky day, so it doesn't take much to be taller than me. Like I could fit in her little pocket pouch thing. I'm travel size, is what I'm saying. So you could take me with you.
You could be her pocket rocket.
I could be your pocket rocket. That's going to be my next song.
Yeah.
I'm going to release that as a single. The Gaymers Assemble single.
I could be your pocket
rocket.
Don't get me started because I will start writing lyrics for this.
Start writing lyrics. We need to lay down. Yeah.
Hang on, let me just write that down. I can be your pocket rocket.
So Llama, now you're going to have to put them into some sort of order. Who would you snog? Who would you marry? And who would you avoid out of those 3 people? The Arid Sony, Cassandra Pendergast, and female Eivor from Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Right. So... Shit. Okay, well, let's just get it off the table straight away. I would definitely marry Liara Tassoni.
Okay.
Right? Like, I've got too many hours invested in that girl to just walk away from her.
Got a whole trilogy, like...
I've got DLCs, I've got books, I've got graphic novels. Like, this girl and I go way back.
Oh, yeah.
And she's got
we are there.
Graphic novels.
So many graphic novels.
Oh.
So her and I are getting married. We're tying the knot. That's fine. So who then am I going to snog and who am I going to avoid? Oh, man. So I guess I'm going to have to avoid Cassandra because, like, she's hot as fuck, but she's technically straight. And every lesbian knows you avoid the straight girls because they will break your heart every fucking time. Every goddamn time. Even if you do manage to, like, have a 1 or 2, like, even if you have a great weekend with them, they'll be like, I was just experimenting. I'm going home to Brad. Like, fuck Brad. I don't know who this Brad guy is.
I love how whenever you bring a guy into the conversation, it's always like a classic American football playing college jock, like Brad, Chad, Chuck. Like,
yeah. I have something against
I feel like there's some issues there.
Maybe. I'm sorry if that's your name and you're listening. I don't know why I don't like you. I do like you. You're nice. Keep listening. I'm sorry. So yeah, I'm gonna have to just avoid Cassandra because she's gonna break my heart because she's a straight girl. Which means I'm gonna kiss Eivor. Eivor. I don't want to say her name wrong. That's disrespectful. And It's going to be a long, passionate kiss that will probably go on for way longer than it's supposed to. Like maybe a night or two worth of kissing.
I feel like it'd be one of those kisses, you see them in the movies and they get thrown around all over the place, like on the sideboard like onto the
slightly
sofa,
violent.
into the kitchen, up against the wall.
Break the headboard on the bed while you're kissing.
Chop
the
the
Nordic,
head off, chop the
Nordic
head off the goat.
headboard.
Yeah.
Yep.
Chop head off a goat.
Poor goat.
Wow.
Like,
yeah, that kind of that's the energy that I'm looking for.
When I played the start of Valhalla, they did have a little glitch in there where pigs flew.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you could fuck her and chop the head of a goat at the same time in that game, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, now I'm kind of losing interest in it.
Yeah, I kind of felt like you were being mean there. Like, it's like, I'm going to have this fantasy with Eivor, and you're like, yeah, well, in the game, pigs can fly, so...
You can do whatever you want.
Like, are you saying I'm not worthy of Eivor?
No, what I'm saying is you could probably break the headboard and chop the head of something at the same time. Weird glitch.
I don't necessarily want to kill small, cute animals while I'm kissing gorgeous
Don't
ladies.
blame me. I beauty suggested it.
Rather violent, boys. Jesus.
Well, I said a goat, not a kid.
I said a goat, like a kid. A goat.
Not a kid. A kid's the baby one. They're the cute
I don't
things.
want to kill either of them. I just want to kiss Eivor.
Stop
I don't want to kill anybody.
And then you can create a pentatonic star in the ground and do something spooky with the goat's blood.
I literally just want to kiss girls. I don't want to summon anything or murder any fluffy things. I just want to kiss girls. The fuck is wrong with you?
I don't know. This has gone down a very dark road this evening. I'm going to be quiet.
Is this what you think lesbians do? Make out, kill some fluffy things, summon some demons,
Satan.
do a bit of scissoring.
Is that not what you do?
I mean, only on Tuesdays. Jesus, not every night.
The lesbian tick list of love.
I feel like we should write that book.
Just add that into the song.
Yeah. Well, Tiggle Tuggle.
That's who's on your list.
Tell us what tickles your tackle.
I feel like I shouldn't speak anymore after that. Well, obviously, Chris Redfield has to be in there because
That's the Resident Evil guy.
Yes.
Which version of Chris Redfield, though?
5.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Which one is that? You can't just say numbers at me. You have to tell me the location.
Like,
so it's the one that's in Africa. Didn't help.
And his partner, she's amazing. I loved her in that. I can't remember her name.
Africa was the one that Beardy hated a couple episodes ago.
I don't like. Well, I don't mind.
He's going to play it later in the week. Don't worry.
I don't mind Resident Evil 5. It's Resident Evil 6 that I really fucking hate.
Yeah, I can't stand 6. But yeah, Resident Evil 5, Chris. So I got that game, and my mates were coming over to my house on the Friday. And I made them sit and play Resident Evil with me, and there was about half a dozen of them.
There you go.
Look at him.
I'm just Googling him now. Yeah, he's got big arms. Yeah.
Look at all that tactical gear. Oh,
but
look at all that.
But his arms are like.
They are cartoonishly
large, yeah.
No, his arms don't.
Fit them into his sleeves.
His arms don't have to be that large. It's just the outfit, the tactical gear. Oh,
they don't even fit in his logistically. How does that shirt even work?
I'm so sorry, guys. I just need to go for a minute.
No.
His bicep is 3 times larger than his sleeve.
His bicep bigger than the entirety of you.
No, can I just say...
If you were in fetal position, you would be his bicep.
It's the same size as his
Could you imagine being in the fetal position with him holding you? Look at the joy. He's just so beautiful. I mean, look, just stop for a sec now. Before we go into now, the arms. No, it's not the arms that did it. And what was funny about that time was I was with a partner for many years at that point, and he sort of looked a bit like Chris, like facially and the hair. And I put on the game, and I looked at Chris, and then I stopped for a minute, and then I turned around and looked at him, and then I looked back at Chris, and I went, "You sort of look like him." And he goes, "No, I don't." And I was like, "Oh yeah, you do." Cha-ching!
So later that night, Tiggs got dressed up as a zombie and crawled into bed like
brains.
Start handing him heavy things and be like, "Can you just lift that 3 or 4 times?" And now with this arm.
Look, Chris is getting all the love in the chat. Can I just say?
He is getting the love in the chat. He is
Chef's
cute.
kiss.
I will give you that.
He is cute, and he look. It's not the arms for me. It was just his aesthetic and the combat gear. I've got a major thing for combat gear and work trousers.
But they don't keep them on all the time, or do they?
That's half the fun, though, isn't it?
I don't know how it works with gay boys.
Just being in them initially. Anyway, I don't think we need to go into this anymore. It's the aesthetic of the whole thing. It's very, if I see a workman doing something somewhere in the work trousers and everything, I just stop what I'm doing and just look over there.
A lesbian in a tool belt will do the same for me, so I get you.
Right, okay, that's good. So Chris is pick 1. And
pick 2.
Pick 2. So no surprise here either.
Is it a tree?
No. No, not after the other week. No, we stay away from
anything because my headphones just died.
Oh, someone didn't charge their shit. Oh, he's plugged it. He's got plug-in ones.
Oh, I didn't know you could charge and use at the same time with these PlayStation headsets. You learn something new every day. We could say anything about him now.
Oh, look, he's just staring at us. He hasn't got backup headphones.
Oh, no. Beardy, what a rookie.
We'll carry on while he's thinking of a backup plan. Right, so go on then. What's your second one?
Okay, so my second one is Commander Shepard from Mass Effect.
Oh, Bro Shep though, yeah?
Bro Shep. So his character model... Oh, is he back? He's back.
I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. So I've literally just said my second choice is Commander Shepard from Mass Effect.
Oh, right, okay.
The standard character model?
Standard character model and everything, because unless it's a game like GTA, I don't like making the characters look like me. I like looking like the actual character, because then it helps you just fantasy into going away from your actual life, which is quite nice. But I left Shepard the way he was, and I was sort of like, oh, you're pretty hot. That shaved head, those eyes. And then I started playing the game, and I think I'm in love with Commander Shepard, and no other man will ever match up to him, or has matched up to him, which is why I'm still single. So no other man has matched up to him, because I played him through his Paragon, and he just made all the right choices and all the tough decisions. And he was always really good. And he was just like, wow.
So basically saying you set yourself unrealistic expectations in the romantic space.
Balls.
Balls.
Oh, fuck my life. Let's go back to Chris. He is awesome, though. Shepard is awesome. And I didn't realize that would be... I didn't know anything about the game really before I played it. Because I was a few years late into it. Mass Effect 2 had already been released, so I had no time to wait really from 1 to 2. And I was looking for something to play, and I saw I was Googling a few different things, and Mass Effect come up, and it was just everybody was hyped about it. So I got it. Whenever I started playing it and played through and saw all the choices that he had to make and the tough decisions he had to make and played them all good, I was like, oh, Shepard, I love you. So awesome.
Aw, Shepard's an
It
amazing
must have
character.
been love. It's over now.
Not on the 14th of May, it's not, or 15th of May. That love will be coming back, baby.
Yeah, well, until you get to
I pre-ordered.
Mass Effect 3.
And there's a new one. There's a new one coming out.
A new one?
Yeah, new Mass Effect, remember?
Yeah, the Legendary Edition.
No, another one.
No, a new one.
With Shepard?
Potentially.
Not confirmed.
Oh, right, that's why I didn't retain that piece of information. Until it says Shepard, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, not confirmed. There's a new trailer for Mass Effect 4.
Yeah, was it?
Oh,
Game
yeah,
Awards?
I did see that. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
We did an episode about it. You picked Mass Effect.
I know. I had a very busy day today. My brain's not fully functional at the moment. I do remember that episode, and I do remember seeing the trailer now that you've mentioned it. I'm not drinking. This isn't pure vodka, I promise.
Oh dear.
Tigger all along.
Who's been drinking up everything? It was Tigger all along.
Yeah, so that's my two. Who's my third?
So I've got your third.
Oh god, it's going to be the fucking tree from Zelda, isn't it?
So this guy has got your daddy issues sorted. Broad shoulders, a sexy scar, probably has nipple rings, probably what you boys would call a bear. Will definitely dominate you in the bedroom. Of course, I am talking about none other than the god of war himself, Kratos.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
You need a daddy to dominate you.
No, I need a daddy to protect me. We found this out a few episodes ago.
I feel like that is such a perfect bit. Do you remember when Tiggs was playing God of War? And pretty much every single night that he was playing it, his fucking Twitter
the whole
account
time
was pouring. Like, it was gushing. It was, somebody put a hole in the fucking viaduct. Like...
I know, I recall.
He became his own self-watering sprinkler system.
We had found a way to harness that energy. We could have irrigated the crops of the world for a week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you notice two things? One, how quiet I went, and two, how red I've gone.
Well, I wanted to make it... I was about to say hard for you.
Yeah.
But then
Too late for that.
Then I thought, oh, that's a pun. And then I thought, fucking roll with it, llama. So I did. So yeah, it needs to be a legitimate, shag, marry. No, what are we doing? Kiss, snog,
marry,
what
avoid.
are we doing?
Snog, marry, avoid.
Snog, marry, avoid. Forget the right words we're supposed to use. So yeah, I want it to be a difficult choice.
God, I didn't know now.
Ha!
Right, so we're going to get it out there. I'm going to marry Shepard because I've got unrealistic expectations on relationships as we've discovered in this episode, and that's really just...
That's 2 marriages in Mass Effect straight away.
That's totally just ruined my life now from whenever I'm outside this. I'll have something new to talk to my counsellor about next time I go.
You can sit down,
Your therapist must be like, who the fuck are these people you're talking to all the time?
Have you played Mass Effect? Because the Legendary Edition comes out on the 14th, so maybe you want to pick that up before we start our next session.
Yeah, maybe you should get your therapist in on the games. Just get them to start watching the show. I think that would explain a lot for them.
Let's not do that. So we do. I'm so glad.
Okay, so you're marrying Shepard.
So glad my mum doesn't
Solid
watch this show. She'd be mortified. She just goes, I'm not really that into computer games. And I was like, well, that's really funny because it was you that got me into them. Really glad you watched this. Hi, Mum, if you are watching. Right. So shepherd, yes.
Snogging and avoiding.
Oh, let's face it, shagging or avoiding, it is me. So I think I would probably shag Kratos. Because let's be honest, he's got that nice little rural hut in the hills.
Boy.
Boy. No, we're not doing the shag version. We're doing snog and avoid.
Yeah. Okay, I would snog him so hard
that it would turn into the shag.
Boy,
that I would take him to Nibelheim. He wouldn't need the bridge gate, bitch. He'd just be transported there by the power of Tiggs.
Yeah. Luckily, he's got his own portal.
What evil have I wrought on the world?
Never do like Snog, Mario Void, or Shag Mario Void with 2 gay boys, Lama. If you have to learn anything ever again.
We apologize in advance.
We're going to be demonetized.
I mean, look at him. He is, like, Kratos is awesome. His voice is enough to get me going. As we all know, right? Okay, and then again, I'm pretty sad about this, but Chris,
you're gonna have to avoid Chris.
I'm gonna have to avoid Chris.
Bye,
bitch. But he looks like he's going to be a werewolf in the new one. So, but I also think werewolves are hot. Can I not just keep them all?
No.
Can we not have like a quintuple marriage?
No.
Bye, Chris.
You gotta fuck him off.
Bye, Chris. See you later.
He's gone.
You're gone, bitch.
I mean, his arms are ridiculous.
He is beautiful, though.
He's too much. Beautiful. He's gone. You can't even talk to him anymore. Don't look at him. Avert your eyes.
He's just outside the window here. Hang on. Hi, baby. Hi.
Oh, my God.
Oh, dear.
Beardy, you're up.
Ooh.
I'm looking forward to this.
And myself with a Switch, with a DS. So, first one. Where's my fucking list? So this is a new one for me. This is a new crush. I only discovered this crush over the last 7 days. But it's love. Like, it's true. It's passionate. It's real. He makes me feel. It's Biggs from Final Fantasy VII Remake. So he's so cute with his little spiky hair and his little bandana, and he gives me those, like, 16-year-old me emo kid vibes with like the bandana and the hair, and like he just seems like a real sweet guy. Yeah.
Oh, look at him. He's like a little. Is that what you would call an otter?
Yeah, he's kind of got that otter vibe. Like, he's a bit cute. The thing is with me, I'm a real sucker for like, being ginger and being very, very pale. I tend to go for a very opposite kind of person. So anybody with like a nice tan, like, looks like he probably needs a visa to stay in the country. Like, that's my kind of thing. Like, bit of an accent, I'm all over it. Like, anyone needs a green card, let me know. That's my type. Like, that is my type. And he is that all over. Like, he's cute. Not massively muscly, because like I'm not massively muscly. Let's be honest. So if there's any throwing around to be done, like, it's not going to happen on my half. So need to make sure the other person is light as possible. I don't need the extra baggage. The second one has already been mentioned in the chat. It's Carlos Oliveira from Resident Evil 3, the remake version. Again.
Okay.
Oh, I've not seen the. I don't think I've seen the remake version.
Oh, he's got like the scruffy kind of hair, the little stubbly beard. Like, I'm a big sucker for a beard and a hairy chest. And
me too.
He's got the beard, and if you look at the PC mods, he's got a bit of a hairy chest as well. So I'm all over that. He is a fine ass man, and the way he like tries to look after Jill in the games. Like that's what I need.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, we're back to tactical gear.
Oh, you and your tactical gear.
For me, it's not the tactical gear. It's just his face.
Sorry.
His face.
No, Tiggs has gone off on a
Yeah.
tangent. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's him without the. That's just his face.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And that's all I need is his face. Probably other few body parts as well.
I was going to say, just the face is a bit of a lesbian pickup line.
A good start.
Oh yeah, I've got your third one, don't I?
You have my third one, so
I do.
Ooh, elevator pitch. Who's the third?
This guy will read your tomb and show you all the treasures that you never knew you had inside you.
Oh God.
He's really good with a pistol. He's good in dangerous situations. And he'll take you for a ride in the back of the jet ski that'll take you 4 hours to get through. It's Nathan Drake!
See, now, no, I don't fancy Nathan Drake.
Why?
There's just something, he's got that like college kid cockiness. You know, like that classic, like, no.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no.
Oh, can I try again?
Yeah, you can try again.
What about Sam Porter Bridges?
No, I think Norman Reedus just looks dirty.
So did I until I played that game. So, Jesus, this is going. I'm gonna pick one for him. I'm not giving him a challenge here.
I only had Kratos. I didn't have a backup.
Well, all mine are gone now.
I mean, that's fine.
In the chat, pick one for Beardy, quick.
Huh?
I'm trying to find you. I'm just searching the memory banks here. Nathan is too smooth for Beardy. This is true. I'm trying to think of another one.
He's just a bit cringy.
Yeah, but I like that.
Nah.
I like cringy.
I'm cringy enough for me and somebody else. Like,
sorry, I failed at this. Then
yeah, you fucked it up.
I did fuck it up.
My chat's frozen.
Somebody's put Mario, Joel from The Last of Us.
Oh yeah, Joel.
Yeah, Joel would probably get it.
Right, just pretend that I said Joel.
Well, you didn't though. Dave Muse said it. Joel would definitely get it.
Joel is gorgeous.
Okay, Joel can be your third one.
Joel can be your third one.
Right, we're going to go into spoilers for Last of Us Part 2, so I'm going to give you like 10 seconds to switch your ears off or anything like that, but I would smash Joel like Abby smashes Joel in The Last of Us Part 2. Oh, fucking hell, yeah. Dave Muse, you got me. You know. Right, so we're gonna go with Snog, Marry, Avoid. So, I think I'm gonna marry Biggs.
Right.
Because like I still don't know that much about him, so there's like a lot of us to get to know and like spend time together and just fuck.
You're gonna marry the guy you don't know.
Yeah.
No, you're just gonna fuck the guy you don't know.
I'm just gonna fuck him. Snog. Oh, see now. No, I'm gonna change it. Right, I'm gonna marry Carlos. Because no, Carlos is the one. Yeah, no, I do like Carlos. I'm gonna snog him, marry him. I'm gonna snog Joel, and I'm gonna avoid Biggs. Because I do fancy Biggs, but because I don't really know him that well. Just thinking about it.
I'm Final Fantasy VII spoiler alert, so you have 2 seconds to turn your earphones off if you don't want to input the spoiler. You won't fucking get to know him that well either, will you?
Well, that's why it's good to snog Joel before he gets that golf club to the face.
Would you? I think you do more than Snog, Joel.
Fucking would.
Mm.
Ain't no spoiler alert there. Jesus Christ.
He is one handsome man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Forgot about Joel. That was a really good shout.
So who are we avoiding?
None of them. We're having them all.
Apparently, we're not avoiding any of them. Biggs. We're avoiding Biggs.
Yeah.
Oh, your first love.
Yeah, you seem really into him.
I am really into Biggs, actually.
And then you really love him,
Throw him
and then
aside?
you cast him aside. Yeah.
Yeah. But when I thought about it, like, it's just that knee-jerk reaction. Because he's new into my life. I only discovered him this week, so I forgot about the others, like the ones that came before.
He excited you.
Yeah,
New and
he tickled my pickle.
Oh my God, boys.
Diggly diggly.
Boogly, 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 boogly.
I mean, if that's what you do in the bedroom, God help you. Kratos is just laid there and you're like, boogly, boogly, boogly.
No, Kratos will be laid there. I'll swing in like a vine from the ceiling and just say, "Scream if you want to go faster, boy."
I'm pretty sure it'd be the other way around. You'd have to be laid there and Kratos would come in with his like very spear Spartan knife things. Forgot what they're called.
No, I like that name.
Yeah.
We'll save that for next
week.
He'd
throw that into the ceiling and come swinging in and be like, "Boy."
That would be good, that.
Yeah, Monst Animation says, Kratos' anger issues, I would not date him, but imagine the angry sex.
Don't, because now they are imagining that, and I'm not going to get any fucking sense out of them for the next 5 minutes.
He's a demigod.
Look, there goes Tiggs.
He'd send you through the wall, and you'd love it. What's that? What's that flying?
Fuck if I know.
I don't want to get snapped in half, but at least you'd die happy.
Oh boy, you would. You really would.
What a way to go. Getting smashed in the wall by Kratos.
Boy.
You feel like a fucking freight train. Rest in peace.
If I'm not on next week's podcast, you know what's happened.
He came down awkwardly on his PlayStation 4.
All of that's just going to get clipped on the normalizer because it was just cackling at too high a pitch. It's just going to be silence on Spotify.
Probably for the best.
We do apologize, Spotify, but it is probably...
We didn't mark it as explicit, so you get what you paid for. You didn't pay for nothing, so welcome to free shit.
I just have so many thoughts now.
Of free shit.
Keep them to yourself.
If we drop the shit and add time, that makes free time. And what do we do in our free time? Play video games. So I'd like to know what you've been playing. Pigs.
Well, I've been playing a little bit of Rock Band at the weekend because there was alcohol involved. And there's always Rock Band when there's alcohol.
Sounds about right.
I didn't post any videos this weekend, though, so that's good for my self-respect and not making people's ears bleed.
Because you didn't post them didn't mean that the videos didn't get made.
No, actually, none got made this weekend. It was the first time for everything. Tune into my Twitter next weekend and you'll see. I should just live Twitch it, but then, you know.
Oh, God.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's not.
Karaoke with Tiggs. Yeah. The strapline could be make your ears bleed for an hour and a half whilst this idiot tries and pours himself drinks that are way too strong. falls down and rolls around the floor for a bit.
Sounds like a Britney Spears concert.
Pretty much so, yeah. It's very pitchy. But Assassin's Creed, still in Side Quest Central because
Are you still playing Valhalla?
Yeah.
I need to go back to Valhalla.
Have you not finished it yet?
No.
I
think I'm about 90% through the story.
I think I'm about 2. I promised myself as well I'd power through this game and just stick to main storyline, and it lasted a whole hour, I think.
Yeah.
And the most surprising thing that I played was the Resident Evil 8 demo. So for those of you that listen
intrigued to see it.
So for those of you
all on his own.
Yeah, I did, really, honestly. Last week as well.
No assistance.
No assistance, no. Last week as well, after the podcast, Beard was like, you need to play it. And I was like, I don't know if I can play it. And I put it on, and it was the castle demo. And he's inside the castle. And from the start, from that first room, my heart was going. And like, I was sat there, and then I had to readjust so I could actually sit up on the edge of my seat because it was like really freaking out. It was like, something's going to scare me. But I got through it. I got to the end of the demo really badly. I didn't kill anything. Like, I just ended up having to run away because I ran out of ammo. And I survived. So then whenever the demo came out yesterday and I could play the village because I missed that, I thought, time to put on my big boy pants and try and play this game. And I survived that as well. So I was well proud.
Nice.
And I actually quite enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool. And I'm not sure if I could maybe get through this game.
See, now I have that little thing of like, I need to get further into it because I didn't necessarily find it that scary.
No, which was brilliant.
Yeah, because I don't know what it is. It was just like the whole werewolfy thing. Like, I don't see that as like a scary thing. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense or not. Like, whereas like the zombies and monsters and everything else normally like have me a little bit shitted up. The vampire lady that chased us around in the castle, she was scary. She scared me a little bit. But I really want to see. I was a bit disappointed that we didn't see Lady Big Titty Vampire anywhere.
Yeah, you did see her.
Well, she didn't chase you around, did she? She didn't chase me around.
No, she didn't chase you around. But you know, whenever you went downstairs into the cellar,
but she just kind of went through a door, didn't she? That's not what I wanted. I wanted her to.
Well, she had to hang her big titties and scoop down through that door.
I wanted her to chase me and be like, "Stupid man thing," like with her fucking claws out and coming after me.
I wanted her to step on me.
Yeah. She doesn't do that, does she? And then we're back to like Credo's chat.
She does. Have you not seen the video that it's like when she's chasing the guy around and she's like, "Stupid man thing, come here. Running away is not going to save you." And then she comes through the door and she's got her fucking claws out.
Surprisingly enough, I've not watched very many of the videos because I'm a fucking scaredy cat.
Well, have a little look at it. Have a little look.
And it was you that talked me into playing it. So now I'm like... Right, and I can't really remember it. So it was my ex that played Resident Evil 7, and I guided him through the whole thing. And I can't even remember really the storyline of that. So I'm like, can I play catch up? Because now I'm thinking, do I get Resi 8 because I've survived the demo? Can I just watch a video and catch up? Like a little synopsis of what happened in 7 to get me up to date.
I think I'm not sure that there's anything that actually happens in 7 that's like pertinent to the story in 8, other than in 7. Well, spoilers for anybody that's not played Resident Evil 7, by the way. But here we go. You play as Ethan Winters, and you get a message from Mia, who is your wife. She's been missing for 3 years, and she's turned up in this Louisiana village house thing. You go to find her. Bad things happen. You escape together. She survives. That's it. That's the only thing that I see that carries across. Because Resident Evil 8 is about them having a child and the child being taken by Chris to Mother Miranda.
Oh, yeah.
So,
and it looks like Chris is going to be a werewolf, and Chris is sexy, and werewolves are sexy. So I'm sort of there. that's all I've been playing. Before that, gives me more judgy looks. It's not my fault.
Lama, what have you been playing?
I've been working a lot. It's been not a shitty week. It's just been a busy week at work. So I've been working late and doing stuff. So I've not had a lot of time for playing. So really, I've just been playing Beat Saber.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I'm fucking loving it. And I've gotten really into, there's a couple like K-pop songs on there.
Oh, awesome.
I'm real into K-pop. There's a couple songs that I'm addicted to at the minute. There's one that's called What the Cat. Like the chameleon one. And it's like you're pushing shit off the shelf and you're like, wow. And it's like meowing. I fucking love that one.
Oh, I totally need to get
the Pop Stars ones with KDA. I love that one. And I get real sassy in the lounge and I'm doing that. And I'm like doing little extra moves and like body popping and getting my feet involved. And I'm getting real into it. And my wife just laughs at me. But I don't care because I'm a pop star.
I like the pirate song.
Oh, which one is that?
I don't know what it's called now.
Yeah, I'm loving it. There's a BTS pack that I kind of want.
Rum and Bass.
Rum and Bass. Yeah, no, I like that one.
By Boom Kitty.
I like that one. Yeah, there's the BTS pack that I want. There's a Linkin Park pack and there's a Green Day pack.
I've got them.
Yeah, I kind of want all the packs.
Do it. The Timberland pack is really good as well.
Is it? I keep looking at that one as well. Yeah. I want all of them. They're like 12 quid each. And if I buy all of them, my wife will notice.
Just buy one a month.
This is the problem with those things, though, because it seems Rock Band. So whenever I get pissed and play Rock Band, I wake up the next day and it's just the Microsoft Store has a receipt for you. And I'm like, how many receipts are there here? And I'm like, oh my God, I spent 30 quid in freaking Rock Band last night whenever I was drunk. I probably didn't sing half these songs. And then I look through the list and I'm like, no, I didn't sing half those songs last night.
No,
I don't have the videos.
Was it the Nintendo Wii? We had the singing game on the Nintendo Wii.
Oh yeah.
And we had a habit of just like buying all the songs on that one. And luckily we had very understanding neighbors who we're still friends with, so it couldn't have been too terrible. But constantly, like, we'd have a few drinks and just like buy all the songs.
So I used to have SingStar on PS3.
Yeah.
And whenever we used to have like little house party things, we used to play X Factor, which is a little game that we made up. So there'd be like a group of 12 or whatever, and we'd have some drinks and stuff, and we'd all put like a $5 on the coffee table, play SingStar, and whoever like got the worst 3 scores out of the first round would become judges, and then they'd pick their teams out of everybody that's left over.
That's awesome.
And then as we went through rounds and stuff, like whoever was in that team would then the judge would have to pick songs for the singer that they thought they could do. And basically every round, whoever got the lowest score would get booted out until basically a judge and a contestant was like the winner. And then you'd split the money and then you could do all or nothing. So you could chuck it all in again to play again to see if you could win the pot twice or whether you'd lose it or not.
That's
so we used to do something similar with Rock Band, not with money, just with us being idiots. But yeah, I think it was just for funsies. And it was mainly, I think we would mainly get stuck at the beginning with splitting up into teams or bands and then naming our bands. That's where most of the time went into. And I remember one night it was Moose Knuckle versus Love Puppets. And I was on Moose Knuckle.
Amazing.
And my wife and I were Moose Knuckle, and we had a lot of fun. I
absolutely love that. It's like character creation all over again.
We were like, but what is our name gonna be? It has to be something fun.
Oh my God, guys, this needs to be awesome.
I think the night actually ended when I chucked a Malteser at my best mate, trying to get him to like catch it in his mouth. And instead of trying to catch it in his mouth, he threw his glass of wine across, like, I don't know what he was doing, but he threw his glass of wine across the sofa to try and get it. And the wine went everywhere. And we were like, yeah, we're a bit drunk. We should stop. He didn't catch the Malteser either. So I don't know what was happening.
Oh, what a waste of dignity and wine.
I know. But I declared myself the winner, as I do generally in these games.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. We have done
as an
podcasts
American, I can
before.
just do that.
Yeah.
I win. And everybody goes, oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
But I win, so it's fine.
I've turned into a little bit of a Final Fantasy hermit this week.
Mm-hmm.
So
with your new boyfriend?
With my new boyfriend. So confession time. We've said it a few times on this podcast. We talked about Final Fantasy VII. And now I want to clarify something here. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I still stand by the fact that I think that what Square Enix is doing with the Final Fantasy remake is scummy as fuck.
Yes.
Never said that Final Fantasy VII was a bad game.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
However, last month, Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1 came onto PlayStation Plus, so I added it to my library as I normally do. And this week, I'd got to that point with my game collection where there was nothing I wanted to play. So I didn't want to play Persona, I didn't want to play Assassin's Creed, I'd been playing Days Gone, didn't want to play Days Gone, didn't want to play Marvel's Avengers, which is another U-turn thing that I did. And so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna download Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1 and see what all the shtick is about, because I've never played Final Fantasy VII. I never played the PS1 version, never played the remake version, and I'm a little bit in love with that game. It's such a good game, and now I'm ashamed to say that even though I still think it's fucking scummy what they're doing, splitting it up into different parts and charging full price for each one, I'm probably going to end up buying Part 2 and Part 3 when it comes out.
But hang on, how's it scummy? Because it was on the PlayStation Store for free.
Well, this is what's kind of justifying in my head a little bit, because out of 3 parts, I'm only paying for 2 of them. However, when the Integrate upgrade comes out in June, I'll probably end up buying that. Because I never paid for the original, so, you know. Can't help it. But it is really good.
I can't
really
wait for
good
you,
remake. Really good remake. I've always played Final Fantasy games on and off. 13 I played a little bit of. I played like maybe half of 8 back in the day. I tried 10, couldn't get into that. So I've kind of like dabbled in and out of Final Fantasy, but for some reason this thing had me hooked, and I played it solid for like 3 or 4 days until I completed it. And I am probably going to platinum it as well, so I've been making some moves in there to try and get the platinum trophy for it. So yeah, so I played that. I also started playing Final Fantasy VIII on my Switch again, because I thought, well, let's go back to that, because I did used to like enjoy playing that game. And then I've also been toying with the idea of playing Final Fantasy VII, the original. But I was talking to Tiggs about it in the week, and I was like, I want to play it, but I kind of don't, because like I've never played it before, so I don't want it to spoil anything that happens in the game. I'm aware of the very big thing that happens, because it's the iconic thing that everybody knows about with Aerith. But other than that, I don't know anything about the story until I watched a spoiler cast review on Kinda Funny, which I sent to you, Tiggs, earlier, that talks about how, and I think this is really fucking good, really cool, that the whispers, spoilers from here on out for anybody that's not played Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1, the whispers that show up in this game that weren't in the original game are all to do with the planet and fate and the destiny, and like they're there to try and keep things on track. So throughout the game, these little ghosty things show up and either help you or stop you from doing certain things, which I thought was cool. But it turns out that they're an allegory for the fans of the original game. So they're trying to keep the plot of Final Fantasy Remake on track with the original plot from the first game on the PlayStation 1. So all these points that they jump in and they're like trying to stop the characters from altering the timeline is because they're there trying to stop the game veering off from its original source material, which I thought was really cool. Which then made me go, well, shit, maybe I should play the original game to see what the actual story is before part 2 and part 3 come out, and then I can understand what the changes are that it's trying to stop and everything else. So that's what I did today. So I've been playing Final Fantasy VII Original today. And I've just got into the sewers.
Oh, yeah. Love Final Fantasy VII. It was awesome. Just
But
really good memories.
I'm playing the original, and I've got to say, like, I'm not that blown away from it by like just yet.
No, but if you play, like, it's about the timing, isn't it? Like, it sort of changed. That game changed that genre of games, like how it was put together.
100%. I'm not going to take that away from it, but like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm playing it the other way round. I'm playing the remake first, and the thing, like, I'm not getting the same sort of feel for the story that you get in remake.
Yeah. Well, they did a really good job, the remake. Look, let's be honest, I wasn't going to play it because I played 15 and I was like, I don't like the battle system. If they change the, being able to control everyone with 7, I really won't like that. So that's what put me off. Then I played demos, like, okay, I'll play this. And they did an absolutely astounding job with the story, graphically, and everything they did. The Honeybee Inn was brilliant. What did you think of that? Whenever Cloud did the little dance thing.
See, I didn't quite enjoy that bit. I thought it was very, very like JRPG, like on the nose, awesome. Like. But I thought they handled the dress thing really well, and how they were the guy says about like gender being like a construct and not like something you have to stick to. But I thought that was pretty cool.
That was cool.
And I thought it was cool how Cloud is a bit miffed to be dressed up as a girl, but kind of like doesn't make like a huge deal out of it. He's not like, but I'm a boy and boys don't wear dresses. He's just a bit like, obviously just not happy by wearing a dress.
I think he enjoyed it in the end. Aerith definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah, she was like taking a picture to flick a beam with her later, wasn't she?
Oh yeah. I just realised I've got my Final Fantasy pen.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I didn't realise that's a pen result.
Monst Animation says Final Fantasy VII, the original, was a huge game. There's no way that they could have managed to pull all those different locations and all those assets without splitting it into parts, though. It would have taken literally 10 plus years to develop that. More than likely. And I don't have a massive issue with them splitting it up per se. I just think it's scummy that they're splitting up and charging so much for each game. Because they're going to bring it out on PlayStation 5. They've just brought out the Integrate version, which is 70 quid. The part 2 is probably going to be 70 quid. Part 3 is... And then they'll bring out a part 2 Integrate with like an extra chapter on the end of it, which they'll charge £80 for. And then by the time we get to part 3, it'll probably be an £80 game. And I just think it's a bit scummy to make people pay like, what, £200 for one game? Like... for one entire game. I could understand if it was like Final Fantasy VII Part 2 as in a sequel, like that kind of thing makes sense to me, but to kind of divide one game down into several parts and then charge full price for every part just feels a bit scummy. Even with all the additions and stuff that they've made.
Yeah. I am excited about Yuffie though. Yeah. And I will be paying for that because I love Yuffie.
Yeah. It's like when they did the Resident Evil 7 remake. Imagine if they split that down into 3 parts. Like the first game was 60 quid and it was just the police station. And then the second game was 60 quid and it was just the underground lab. Like people would have been fucking fuming about it.
Whereas I get all 3 Mass Effects and all the DLC for 60 quid.
Yeah. Well, could you imagine Mass Effect? Imagine they split that down they did the remake and split it into 3 separate games and then charge full price for each part of that game. Like, you'd be pissed.
I mean, I'd still pay it.
I would pay it. For Mass Effect, I would pay it. If they redid it from the ground up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and
I'd be angry as fuck.
Could you imagine?
But I would still pay it.
People would be losing their minds. EA would be like, there'd be people at the door with fucking pitchforks and like
There's
fire.
people that paid 300 quid for the loot crates that don't even have the fucking game included.
Yeah, that's true. But people would go fucking mad about it, like, and I know there was a bit of like unrest between the fans about it being put into parts and stuff, but like, I don't know. I still think it's scummy.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see though on the Mass Effect side? So there's been some posts on social media from I think one of the producers, and also I think two of the producers actually have posted sort of cryptically, big announcement coming soon from their social media with the Mass Effect logo. And also Jennifer Hale, who's the voice of Femshep, posted a picture from her audio booth at home, with just saying, "Oh, it's great to be working again," and then hashtag NDA, don't ask, can't tell you. So I don't know if maybe they're doing some additional content or like what's happening or what, but I'm like, honestly, I'm grasping at straws because anything when it comes to Mass Effect, I'm like, oh, give me. I want it.
We've not got long to wait now, Llama.
I know. Oh, I'm so excited.
Next week's going to be all like what you playing, Mass Effect.
I know. I need to make sure. I need to write a note to make sure that I book. Was it the 14th? It's coming out. I need to book some time off.
Dangolan 2 says, had you not known PS1 Final Fantasy VII existed, would you still had a problem with it? If Final Fantasy VII never existed and they made it and put it into parts, then I probably wouldn't have a problem with it because they're following the design of it and it would be more of a sequel.
Yeah.
Whereas if you take something that's already fully made and put it into parts, like that's a completely different situation.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
I can totally see what you're saying. I think it sort of felt like its own self-contained game, though. Like, even though I know there's more to the story, well, I played more to the rest of the story. even though I know that, it felt different enough from the original without ruining the original. It felt like it added to. It just felt like a massive add to, as opposed to ruining anything.
They expanded everything, and hats off them. They've done an amazing job. I mean, I've just played up to the point where Cloud gets the dress and everything else, and you fall down into the sewers in the original one on the Switch. I'm playing on the Switch at the minute. And the difference is night and day. I'm, maybe 4.5 hours into the original game, and by that point in Remake, you're talking like 25 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the amount of content is completely different. Like, and it is amazing what they've done. Danganronpa, that's why it's a remake, lol. It seems expensive enough to justify multiple games. And I completely understand it. I just think when you're doing a reimagining like this, because it's not a remake. Like, because a remake is taking the original and creating it exactly the same way. It's a reimagining. It's a new story. Like, that kind of like going on the remake thing is a bit of a weak argument to me. I just think when you take an original property like that and you're splitting it out into three separate things, I don't see why. I understand the logistics of paying for it and it's an expensive development and all those kind of things, but like, it just doesn't, for me, doesn't sit right. I think I just feel it's a bit scummy to keep charging £60-70 for each installment. And at this point, we don't even know it's going to be 3 parts. The rumor is it's going to be 3 parts. What if they make it 6 parts, like, or 7 parts, or like, it just becomes.
Well, I hope it finishes before I die.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems cool that they're putting lots of new content in. I mean, to go from like 4 hours to like 20-something hours, that's a huge difference. So I can see that even just looking, like putting my business head on, like the amount of dev time and asset time and stuff like that to change that amount to put that amount of content in, I can see that side of it. But yeah, I guess it is sort of a reboot, a reimagining of the story. Yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons to the different sides of the argument. My business head says that you're going to have to charge that much to get your return on investment.
But it was
from
so
the fan
cool.
side of it, I wouldn't want to pay that much to get kind of the same story I've already paid for. But I can see it. I can see it from both sides.
Well, being a fan of the original and then like doing the remake, it was pretty epic. But the thing that made it even better was if you've watched Advent Children and you see like the new models for like the church and stuff where Aerith is, in the game it looked like it was in Advent Children, and I was like, oh my god, this is super cool. Like it just, they enhanced things. It was sort of like it was so cool.
And
like whenever I played that game,
like, from what I understand, they're rolling pretty much everything around that Final Fantasy, because it had a couple of spin-off side things like Crisis Core, I think, and then Advent Children. It seems like they're kind of mushing all that together into one continuous story, which again makes sense. It's all up to them how they want to do it. I just think, it doesn't sit nicely with me that they're taking this one thing and splitting it up into multiple things and charging as much for each section as they are. Like, regardless as to how good it is, I think it's amazing. I think it is worth every penny that you spend on it. It still doesn't sit right with me that that's the way they've gone around it.
But that's a valid opinion, right? Because look, I big into like Final Fantasy 7 through 10-2, been to the Distant Worlds concert, been into Kingdom Hearts, again Square Enix, been to that stuff. Their merchandise, even at those things, are really expensive. Square Enix, whenever they do something, is generally quite expensive, and anything that's around that thing is quite expensive. You know, when like pre-pandemic, supposed to go to Japan, checking out all Square Enixy things, obviously, because I'm a massive geek. I was going to go there, and I'm going to go there whenever we go. But again, it's just their price points are quite high. So it doesn't surprise me that the price points for what they're releasing here with Final Fantasy VII, especially since it was so coveted by everyone. Everybody was begging them to do a remake. And they are going to like charge for it.
You
know, might all end up on PS Plus,
which would be great. Like, but the PS Plus version isn't you can't. I don't think it's compatible with Integrate. I'm pretty certain they've said if you've got the free version, you can't.
Yeah, so if you got the free PlayStation Plus version last month, when Integrate comes out, if you owned Final Fantasy VII Remake, as in you bought a physical or digital version, when Integrate comes out, you get the free upgrade to the PS5 version of the game. So all the graphics and the super fast loading and all the rest of it. If there's any haptics or DualSense controller support in there, then you'll get that as well. If you want the Integrate DLC, I think it's like £30 or something, or $30, which is probably about £25. But if you got it free as part of PlayStation Plus, then you don't get anything. So you don't get the PS5 version. And at this minute, I still can't seem to find anything anywhere that says you can upgrade to the PS5 version.
Yeah.
By buying Integrate. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still on old gen, so.
Yeah.
I only got my new gen by fluke.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
I think that brings us to the end, doesn't it?
That was a very topical discussion at the end.
Yeah, just a quick 20-minute rant on and scummy practices and everything else. Like,
it was awesome, and thanks for all the input in the chat as well. It was really cool. Yeah.
We love
and
a good
always
chat.
Remember, opinions are like arseholes. Everybody's got one.
And we like to see them.
Yeah.
Well, they do.
Speaking of things we like to see you talking to us on things like Twitter and Instagram. So make sure you go and follow us over there at Gaymers Assemble, spelt Gaymers Assemble. You can also email us at gamersassemble@gmail.com. And you can follow us on Twitch and YouTube if you want to kind of like watch this live, or you want to watch it as a VOD. Then you'll find all our VODs over on YouTube. And you can listen to as a podcast service on many different platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and other podcast services. Just search for Gamers Assemble. As always, Llama has been Llama.
Oh, and next week, don't forget next week.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget next week, email us your bad descriptions of video games.
Oh,
Tiggs
please do.
has been Tiggs. I have been Beardy. And until next time, keep calm and game on. Hurrah!
Bye.
Bye.